Okay, so in today's skill, we're going to talk about the hunger scale. Now, there are a few different ways to lay the hunger scale out. You may have seen it laid out a little bit differently, but this is how we use it here. This is a really important concept to start to apply really as soon as your weight loss journey begins. What this really does well is it helps us understand when to stop eating and when to start eat, and really picking up on hunger cues, both for fullness and both for hunger, so that you can actually make sure that we're not waiting too long to eat and that we're also not overeating when mealtime comes along. So I'm going to zoom in here and we're going to take a look at this chart here. So again, it's really one of the most important tools that you can use to really make sure that you're not eating too little and not eating too much. This is auto regulation. This is your ability to control your own hunger levels and really intuitively eat so that you're listening to your own signs and signals within your own body and your brain, so that you can make sure that you're really not ever feeling like you need to loosen a belt buckle or that you are getting hangry and you're irritable around other people because you're so hungry. So the basic concept, eat when you're at a 3 and stop eating when you reach a 7. So the idea here is on the far left side of the scale, this is a 1 out of 10 in terms of fullness, okay? That's hangry level 1000. Right at 5 is you're kind of not really need to eat anything. This is really how you feel a couple hours after you have a meal. And then 10 is Thanksgiving level stuffed. But the real cues where we want to be eating and stop eating sit right even between those points, the midway and the far end points. So 3 is the idea of I'm hungry. Maybe there's a little bit of a grumble. I'm starting to notice my hunger cues turning on. My mood hasn't changed. I don't feel like I am starving, but I am noticing that it's been a few hours and it feels like it might be time to eat or time to eat soon. Number 7 is slightly satisfied, but not super full. So this is usually when you know whenever you're eating a really good meal, I should stop. It's just about when and if you do stop before going back to either a second helping or if there's more food on your plate when you feel like you either finish it and you go back for a little bit more to try to clean your plate. So that's the basic concept of the hunger scale. Eat when you're at a 3, stop when you reach a 7. We don't want to be getting towards 10 when you are Thanksgiving level stuffed. For many reasons, this is not a great idea, but namely, it usually means that you've eaten too much and you're likely going to be in a caloric surplus, meaning you're eating more calories than you're burning just by overeating. So the key to the hunger scale, uh, it's really easy to kind of blow through this and blow way past 7 and notice before it's too late, shoot, I'm really full. I should have stopped, 5 bites ago or 5 minutes ago. Same thing for the reverse is, it might be hard to remember to eat. You might not realize until it's too late that, oh crap, I'm really, really hungry. So for that far side on the hunger scale, it's really important to situate your fridge, your pantry, bring your lunch, whatever you do to go to work, to have protein-rich snacks, so that once you notice that you want to start to nibble, but it might be way too soon before mealtime, let's say lunch or dinner, you have a protein-rich snack in order to snack on and curb that hangry level of hunger and get you back to maybe between a 3 to 5 if you still have like an hour or two before proper mealtime. On the far right of this scale, though, when we're too late and you're too stuffed, the only way this really works is if you eat slowly and chew your food. So it sounds rudimentary and it sounds very simple of a concept, but it is really true. And it's something that even I experience from time to time when it comes to overeating, where I am housing my food down and not allowing the hormones and the chemicals and the communications to happen between my brain and my stomach before it's too late. It's an age-old kind of trope that it takes about 15 minutes for your brain to talk to or for your stomach to talk to your brain that it's full. This is actually really true. And that's because hormone impulses, hormone releases, those communication lines don't actually happen very rapidly and right away. It takes a little while for things to churn in your stomach. It takes a little while for the hormones like ghrelin, like the hunger hormones, to actually communicate to the brain that, hey, we might want to stop our hunger signals because we actually have enough to digest down here as it is. So eat slowly and chew your food. How do you do that? Well, between every single bite, it's really important to put your fork down, or whatever vessel you're using to consume your food. Maybe you're having a sandwich, so put your sandwich down between every bite and chew your food completely before picking up the fork or taking your next bite. It sounds so simple and silly, but it's so true. When you eat slowly, you'll actually eat less, but you'll still feel just as full, especially if we're balancing our plates the right way as well, with the right makeup of proteins, fats, and carbs. So chew your food and eat slowly. A great way to practice this, and this is something that you should start doing immediately from this time you're viewing this video, start a timer for at least 15 minutes on your phone when you begin to eat. You should not be finished with your plate before this timer goes off, meaning it should take you 15 minutes or more to finish your meal so that you can ensure that you're eating slowly. So that's an easy way to make sure that you're eating slowly. Chewing your food just comes with practice. You have to remember to try to slow down. You could take a bite, inhale it, put your fork down, and take about 15 minutes to do so. But digestion starts in the mouth. You want to make sure that you're chewing your food completely to swallow it, to begin the digestive process, to lower the load and the tax that your digestive system is going to have, especially your intestinal tract, to process and digest that food. That could lead to things like bloating, irritable bowel syndrome side effects and symptoms, but it also helps extract more nutrients in that food when you chew it completely. So, quick lesson on how to know when to start and stop your meals. Well, you know that it's too long before you've eaten if your mood has changed. If you're hangry, you've waited too long. You're too full if you feel like you are constantly bloated and your stomach feels like you need to like loosen a buckle. That's usually when you know you've eaten too much, especially if you kind of realize one of those instances where you push the plate away, you kind of take a big sigh, maybe you're sweating a little bit from eating so fast and you realize, oof, I'm full. When you say that out loud, it's usually too late. So make sure you eat your food slowly, chew your food, use the hunger scale, eat at around a 3 when you're feeling on the kind of left-hand side getting hungry, right? 1 is an empty stomach. And stop eating when you're about a 7, when you're slightly satisfied but not super full.